The Wildlife World Zoo Aquarium and Safari Park loves to educate people on the different animals they have. And today, they brought a stinky ambassador, and that is the striped skunk, Hershey, to educate us on. How are you, Danielle?
Doing great. How are you?
Okay, my first question is that usually we see black and white skunks. Why is this one kind of like the brownish color?
Yeah, so this is actually pretty rare with these guys. They can be brown or a cream color, but typically they are going to be that black and white. And something that's really interesting about these guys is just like a tiger has unique stripes, or we all have different fingertips, their stripes are going to be unique to each individual animal.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's also talk about different types of skunks. I didn't realize there's a striped skunk and then there's a non-striped skunk.
Yeah, so there's a couple different species, and this one here is going to be the striped skunk, and she's going to be found up from anywhere from Canada down into Mexico. So they're widespread all throughout the U.S. here.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about some myths about them, because everyone thinks, you know, as soon as you see a skunk, he's going to spray you, but that's not true. They only spray in defense, right?
Definitely. So these guys are going to show some warning signs first. So what they're going to do is they're going to stomp their little feet. They're going to raise that tail high up in the air, and they can spray over 10 feet. So you definitely want to steer clear if you guys see these guys in their natural environment. And even they know that they're a little stinky, because they won't spray when they're in a confined space, or if they're in their burrows, where they do spend a lot of time when they're resting. But yeah, they know they're pretty stinky. They know it's a great defense. They know predators aren't going to want to come after them if they do that.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting that I was talking to our dog handler about when they come out upon skunks. Actually, the dogs aren't really there to attack them. They want to play because they see that stomping. They think, oh, they're playing around with them. So that's when you need to watch the dogs around them and stuff.
Definitely.
So, okay, so we understand that, you know, Hershey comes out. It's one of the ambassadors. But you also want to educate people about approaching these in the wild.
Definitely, definitely. So especially with them here in the U.S. and here native in Arizona. I know I've seen them up in Sedona before, but they're pretty adaptable and widespread. So if you do ever see them, this goes for any wild animal. You want to make sure that, you know, you're staying from a safe and respectful distance from these amazing animals, because we want to respect them in their natural environments. We don't want them to feel threatened to where they feel like they need to do that. And so it's just really important to make sure that we are protecting these animals and not disrupting them in their natural habitats. So these guys are omnivores, so they're going to be eating different vegetation and plant matter. They're going to catch small prey items. They have an excellent sense of smell. They eat insects. They'll also eat carrion as well, so they help keep our environment clean.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I actually knew this skunk that fell in love with a cat. The cat got paint on it, and the skunk was French. It was kind of cool, and the cat was American. Like, it was like really crazy, and he'd chase her all over the place, and he'd be like, no, I don't want that, and stuff like that. So that's so cute. I want to bring in our special guest. Pat, come on over here, because Pat is pretty much wanting for his birthday. I don't know, do you want a skunk for your birthday? Is that what you're asking for?
No, as a matter of fact, I have a couple already. When the kids moved out, I said, what should we do? Bring in skunks. And to have a skunk named after a town in Pennsylvania is kind of an unusual thing. The skunk.
So she does have that chocolate coat on there. But yeah, just a really incredible little ambassador, and she's getting used to the new people, so she's definitely, I would say, the most exciting party guest here. But yeah, definitely getting used to new people, new environments. And she's getting a little sleepy too.
I saw the tail, and that's why I was like, it's facing
all of a sudden I see Brad moving. Hey, and I don't know whether you happen to see it, but thanks again. That was absolutely astounding, and what a surprise. I'll never forget this birthday in decades to come.
I like it. Well, we're going to send you home with some stinky stuff. No, we can't. All right. Stick around. We got more of the mix for you coming up after this.